All right, guys, it's Friday, and I got an update. So, a couple things happened this week. As you guys have been following, you guys saw that we went racing last Sunday, and by we, I mean me, but I went out with my buddy Mike. He's also an Oldsmobile guy, but he ended up putting small block Chevy Power under his hood. Now, if you guys knew his story, you'd understand why he ended up sticking Chevy Power under the fucking hood of his Oldsmobile, but we'll forgive him. So, either way, I went out. It was Father's Day. He's there every Father's Day, and usually his cars blow up every Father's Day. He's blown up quite a few Oldsmobile engines at Father's Day, running Sportman class. So I ran Sportman class with him, and we had a good time, and we went into the semifinals. I went 5 rounds of racing, and it was a total of 6, so it was not bad. But I had a moment of clarity at the track, right? Like, this is what I want to do. And we had to slow the car down. We ran a 12:09 at 103, so that tells you how much we were on the brakes. So the car was running good, but I had a moment of clarity. And with the way that this summer is going, I'm just going to start pretty much what I'm going to call Project quote-unquote bulletproof kind of soon. So we're building the backup engine, which is actually going to be our workhorse for bracket racing. It's a bread and butter. You guys have seen the build with a small block. It's Speed Pro pistons, solid flat tapped cam, big block iron heads that are ported. We got an RPM intake. It's going to be our bread and butter workhorse. Woo! Sorry guys, I had a nasty sinus infection on Monday, and I'm still getting over the congestion of it. I don't have the fucking Rona, I promise. It's been like day 5 now of this bullshit. So either way, the motor that's in the car now is going to be like our bad dog motor. Eventually, my end goal is either going to be like a big bore, small block Olds with just good rods and a big lightweight piston. So I'm talking like we're going to end up making this thing a 366 on piston alone, or it's going to be a stroker. But the engine that's going to go in there is going to be our bracket workhorse. I just plan on running Sportman, maybe dabbling into the pro class, which I can still run, but it's hard to run round robin between classes because if you run Sportman, you got to make your run and get right back in the lanes for pro. So either way, my goal is the transmission's getting dropped off tomorrow. You guys might be asking yourself, you've built your own transmissions. Why are you going to send it out? Well, I'm not a professional transmission builder. I'm just a fucking hack, moron, whatever the fuck you want to call me. I'm just a dude who does shit in his garage, and I think luck has something to do with me being able to successfully the last couple of years do my own thing, right? To an extent, I think just being careful and slightly tedious works. But I still messed up. I told you guys about the clutch snafu on this transmission on the Pontiac, but it's still living, so I'm going to let that thing ride out and see what it looks like over the winter when I pull it out. So, but either way, the transmission with the Ultra Bell is getting sent out. And when the engine gets done, that's 2 out of the 3 pieces to really make this car like a solid piece. Now, I could build up the 8.5, get like some Mosier axles, get a helical cut style gear, posi unit, and between those two and the wear items, without any labor, you're talking over $1,500 in parts. Now, if you go on Strange's website and you look up an S60 for a GM A-body for drums, not disc setups, you're talking, I think it's like $2,600. So for an extra, I think it comes out to like an extra $500, I can run an S60 in the back of this car and it'll be fucking bulletproof for what I'm going to be doing. And that's what I want. So my plan is to have a good transmission, a good rear end, and at least 2 engines that I can run. So at least 2 engines I can run. So the what I'm calling the workhorse small block is the one I'm working on now. And our current engine's good. I mean, it really doesn't need much, I think. I think if I was to literally just go with a new piston, lighter rod, because these pistons have seen a lot of action, and this engine is a rebuild of a rebuild when I first started with it. If you guys follow back into the history of this engine. So I think ideally, I mean, I will eventually want to go faster, but for now, it's like, you know what? I've been chasing down ET for so long, and that's all I've done, that I've never really done a lot of bracket racing, and that's what I'm going to focus on. And the whole idea is to make this car to the point where all I have to do is load up, go out, go run, minimal tools, minimal things, and go. And that's it. Like, you know, we've gone to the track since last fucking fall and not needed to touch a thing on this car. No jetting, no nothing. The tune I have now works good in the spring, works good in the fall. We know it's going to slow down in hot weather, but that's what you want. And I've worked hard, and the combination that is currently in there is really good. But the current engine that I'm building is ultimately the workhorse. So, on that note, that's my plans. That's the update. Transmission's getting dropped off tomorrow. If the dude's cool enough, maybe we'll talk to him about what he likes to do to those transmissions. He's a local guy, very well known, very talented transmission builder, and this isn't going to be cheap. I wouldn't call this transmission rebuild a budget build, because what he quoted me is at least $300 over what a conventional shop would charge me. But this guy is a specialty transmission rebuilder. He builds race transmissions. So, yeah, at this point, you know, I've done a lot of my own work for the last 15 years. It's time for me to trust people to do stuff for me. And that's kind of where I'm going with it, because I can say that I know how everything works. I know the upkeep because I've built my own stuff. So now it's to the point where it's like, all right, cool. Let's build something good here, because the car is running really good, and, you know, I just want to go bracket racing. And then we'll start covering that more. I had a lot of fun last Sunday, and maybe next time my wife comes, we'll document the racing more. And the next race isn't until August. So we got some time to tighten up a couple things in the car, go over a couple things, check a couple things. We'll go out. So on that note, I'll let you guys go. That's my plan. Just a little update. Just what's been going on in my mind since last Sunday. And the bug bit on a whole different end. So now I just want to go bracket racing, and I want to go run Sportman, and then eventually pro. So I'll let you guys go. Share, like, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram as Copper Cutlass. You know, hit the like button. Subscribe, goddammit. See ya.